What's up, y'all? Yo. I'm live. What's up, y'all? Hey, Richard. We are going to talk. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Salty dog. One time I did. Short story. Long time ago. It was a lot of fun. All right. Y'all can hear me. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about Ecotech battery backup. Oh, my bad. Tonight, it's a Little Russell's Reserve. Neat. In a medieval times cup, because that's how we roll. Could you hear that? It was a freedom pour right there. All right. So, you can't see it, it's just off screen. Some of you know my background. And I'll leave this up after we shoot this, but you ever find that thing you lost last stream? Yeah, I found it by sending back the one that didn't include the remote and getting a new one. It was the remote control for that Pixie 30 that's installed right now on top of the work tank. That's a triple shot. Well, you know. So, we've talked battery backups before. Maybe not talked. I have posted I've posted my take on a DIY battery backup. And those joining late, please just rewatch because you'll see what I'm talking about. But if you're jumping in now, you'll see. So, this morning, I hooked up with a dude named Vu and bought this just... Oh, thanks. So I would have it. Because I figured I knew what was inside, but I needed to confirm before I talked about options instead of spending $160. What are your DIY options? And there absolutely are some. For y'all in the chat, if you know the story of the hat, share it with everybody else. So the thing about the Ecotech battery, it's big. It's an 18 amp hour battery. It's got some oomph to it when it's new, right? The thing about it is that it's riveted together. They're right. There's like 4 rivets per side, 8 rivets total. It's not really intended to be replaced by the home user, I suppose, but that's silly. Sure enough, it's silly because there's nothing inside the battery. So metal case. I mean, it looks nice, right? And if you watch my video with Moki, I don't have a lot of stuff that looks nice. That's kind of me, right? But what's inside is a $40 lead acid battery, 18 amp hour lead acid battery, and 3 connections and some wires. No lights, no charging indication. There's a charger. I mean, there's a light on the charger, but whatever. So you got your charge port, and you got your 2 accessories, your powered accessory ports. Ray said, Joe, just chill, let it hang. What's up, Jose? You got something to sell me? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, look, I'm an Ecotech fan. A lot of people would say a lot of people would tell you the same. I have 4 XR30s. I have 2 MP10s. I've been on Mobius. I've been on the Mobius beta for like a year. And my MP10s are on Mobius, and I freaking love them, right? But they could do better. I think it's just excessive for them, right? It's expensive for what it is. So you're looking at a $40 battery. That's if you go 18 amp hour. You really don't need 18 amp hours. It's actually $36 on Amazon right now. If you went 9 amp hour, right, that's $22. So really all you need is yeah, I know, Jose. Really all you need is a battery and a charger and a connector, and you have what you need. So this is if you wanted to go this route, right? So this is what, 9? Yeah, 9 amp hour battery. Super cheap, $22. Oh, keep in mind, lead acid batteries only last 3 years, and they diminish in energy after 2. And if you have a power outage, and I did a video on this I did on YouTube. If you have a power outage and your battery gets drained, the next time you charge it, it's less effective. So it diminishes in capacity every time it's drained. So one power outage could negatively impact this battery by as much as 20%. So, Booze is here, bro. You joined late. We got a little Russell's Reserve. Neat. Ice is for Fireball. Neat in a medieval times cup. Oh, that's good. So, $22. About $1 for a connector. And you could go a couple of different ways. You could get just a cheesy 14.5 volt 1.5 amp charger for like $20. This is the one that comes with it. This thing's Travel Time 122 says they're gonna hook it up to a used Tesla battery. I'll do you one better, and I'll hook it up to my Tesla's battery, and it'll run for months. So, and that's actually a thing. If you followed my solar battery blah 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 stuff, my backup battery is my car, because I could just plug my solar charge controller into my car's 12-volt battery, which is powered by the big battery underneath, and poof, lots of power. But anyway, this thing's like $20. So $20, $22, and $1, and you're good to go, right? You can keep your pumps running for a long time. You could run 2 pumps off a 9 amp hour for like forever. So there are other options as well. This is a Headway lithium iron phosphate battery that will probably last 10 to 12 years. It'll probably get to 80% capacity after 8 years, and it'll just keep running and running and running. This is like 3.2 volts. Yeah, 3.2. So if you put 4 of these together, then you can you got 8 amp hours that will fit inside the Ecotech battery backup box using the same charger and there's a chance you'll never replace these batteries again, right? So for those, this is a little more advanced than using one of these. Oh, you might want to put a fuse on that too. Would a lithium battery be more effective? See, there you go, Salty Dog. You saw it coming. Not a lithium, right? Because that's 3.7. You need a lithium iron phosphate because that's 3.2. 3.2 is times 4, right? That's how you come up with the voltage, and that comes out to about a lead acid battery. So that's what you want to do. So this is the more advanced solution. Know what it looks like, jokes. But this is a 12 volt. It's higher than that, but whatever. It's equivalent to a lead acid with a BMS, a battery management system, that protects the batteries, both high charge and low charge. It balances the batteries so they charge evenly, and it'll fit inside the box. So will the other 4. So 16 amp hours. What's up, Devin? 16 amp hours. Lithium iron phosphate to replace a cheap, not more expensive, of course, to replace this. Devin's got a video of how he did a backup battery also. But don't, I don't know. I don't think you want to roll like this, right? I don't think you need this. I think for those who just joined, I love Ecotech. I love their lights. I love their pumps. But I don't love their battery backups. I bought this just to show what was inside. Hooked up with Dude Vu, gave him $50, came home, and I'll replace this battery with something that makes more sense to me. Now, if you already have a battery like me and you're silly and you got solar and all that crap, then all you need is a wire, because you hook it up to your lithium iron phosphate batteries that are big, like the 50 amp hour ones, and your pumps will just run, and then solar will charge that, and it'll make it through the night on the big batteries. And like I said, if it's looking like it's not going to make it through the night, then I just plug my car into the big batteries, and then we're good to go. So dig this. This is a sweet little lithium iron phosphate and switchable to lead acid charger. It's like $25. This thing's fantastic. So if we're keeping count, right? 25, 22, just for a 9 amp hour. It'll run your pumps overnight. And $1. And maybe you grab a couple fuses from the auto parts store just to make sure, right on the output side of the battery. If your pump flakes out or something, you don't want to get the battery smoking. There are options for Ecotech battery backups. Play with it. Think about it. It's really easy. You can get batteries for cheap. And watch Devin's video, because he does a nice job of explaining how he did it. See? Tell me about your mini solar. Actually, I'm going to hook up with you later, Devin. I want to know about your mini solar. I want to see how similar we're running. Mind if I DM you for the list of what you just discussed? Yeah, no problem, man. Hit me up. I'll give you a parts list. It's really easy. So, whatever. $160. Mm-mm. 45. Your call. All right. If you want to learn about this stuff, I will... Oh, crap. Give me a minute. I can look it up. Will Pros. Will Pros on YouTube. Check him out. And, yeah, that's what I have, too. Maybe we have the same thing. What are you using, Devin? What are you using for an ATS or a charge controller? check out Will Pros on YouTube. Really, really cool guy. He's hilarious. Geeks out hard on batteries. So check it out. You might dig it. If you don't dig batteries, don't watch it because it's not going to work for you. These batteries, these headways, these are used, but they're still good, like 90% capacity. Oh, maybe we have the same one. Is it an MPP? MPP solar? Batteryhookup.com. Sweet name, right? Batteryhookup.com. They got all sorts of goodies. And they got a really awesome 4S BMS for big batteries. Check them out. Just watch Will's videos. That's where I learned how to do this stuff. Well, some of this stuff. The solar stuff. Next topic. It's winter for most of you. What's up, y'all? Oh, I'm tired. I'm drinking Russell's Reserve, neat, in a medieval times cup. So, oh, I didn't bring up a heater. Oh well, you all know how heaters work. So you can get heaters. I use Finex, and the heaters have the little temperature thingy on them, right? So that's cool. Never run just that. That's a horrible idea. So if the little temperature thingy breaks, it'll break on, it'll break off. You know it'll break on, and then all your stuff will die. If it breaks off, all your stuff's going to die, just slower. If you're going to use... I talked about this a little bit with Moki. If you're going to use a heater with just a little knob, get an Inkbird, right? This thing's like $25. It's good. The hysteresis is like 1 degree. So you set it for 78. It'll go to 78. It'll turn off. It'll go to 77. Then it'll come back up to 78. And that's plenty good. That's fine, right? So here's this is the best way, right? As far as I'm concerned. This is the crazy way. So you have a controller, and you're going to use your little relay-based outlets to power your heater. That's fine. Understand these things wear out. This thing's kind of expensive, right? This isn't. So here's what I suggest. Plug this into this. Turn this on. Now this is now emergency. So this is what is turning off the power to your heater if your fish tank gets over what? I said fish tank. If your system gets over 79, 80 degrees, say 80 degrees, right? This is your power cutoff to a stuck-on heater. This is your second level backup. Your heater that has a controller on it, digital, analog, whatever, is the thing that's actually controlling the temperature of the tank. It's plugged into this. This is regulating temperature as a just in case. So you have 2 levels of safety. If your heater gets stuck on, this will turn it off. If your heater gets stuck off, this will alarm when your fish tank gets cold. And then if this doesn't work, if you're not home or whatever, then this will alarm and you'll get a notification. So if you roll with this, it's not expensive. A heater's what? A heater's going to be 200 watt, 35, 40 bucks. This thing's like 25 bucks. The BRS one's kind of the same thing. The only difference between this one and the BRS one is supposed, and I'm looking at you, Devin. Hopefully you can test yours out because I don't have one yet. Is a removable probe and a slightly tighter hysteresis. As 1 degree here, 0.6 degrees. So it's 0.3 they advertise, plus or minus. So you figure that's 0.6 total. This is 1 degree total. And then you just plug your heater in, and you roll. That's it. You're good. You're safe. You don't have to worry about your heater. You don't have to worry about off, on. You get your notifications, and you're good to go. Does that make sense? I'm sure some of you do this. The 3-level thing, it's probably excessive. I had this convict a long time ago when I was stationed at Edwards Air Force Base. I wanted to take it to work. Convict in a tank. I had nursed it back to health. It was totally sick and got it back. It was happy eating. It responded to me. I took the tank to work. Work was closed. I couldn't get in. Building was locked up. So I brought the tank home, put it in the garage because I was going to take it in the next day when I went to work. Somewhere along that travel, the old glass heater cracked, killed my fish. I woke up the next day, killed my fish. That sucked. So I won't ever do that again. So if you can, and I think everybody in this hobby can absolutely swing a $25 heater controller just to keep stuff safe. Yep, there you go. Cuss the heater. Yeah. Inkbird with the Apex. The Apex is your fail safe, right? The Apex outlet is powered, and you turn it off if it gets too hot. It's worth an outlet, as far as I'm concerned. The heater is totally worth an outlet. Other things don't need to be hooked up to your controller, but a heater controller plugged into an outlet on a controller, totally worth the money. That is it. I have maybe 7 minutes left on this stream. I'm going to scroll back through. Did I miss anything? Oh, there's a lot of comments. I like this. Y'all are cool. I just got done with my... and thank you. Moki, if you're still on, thank you for sending over that file. I just finished up the GHL doser video. I'll try to get that out tomorrow. I'm going to send that to have GHL take a look at it. Make sure I didn't say anything stupid, which sometimes I do. Salty Dog, you still on? I was going to give you the story. Talked about that. Yeah, dip an iodine. That's not a bad idea. Spaceman Chris. Yeah, man. Just plug it into the car. Can you put one of them in the wife's rabbit? Nope. You can trade in that rabbit. You still on, Savage? You can trade in that rabbit and go get you a $37 or $37,000 Tesla Model 3 with a $5,000 a year fuel savings, and it'll be cheaper than a Camry. What if you run your whole setup? Yeah, you just need a bigger battery. If you want to run if you want to run an entire tank on a battery, then you need something similar to what I have with solar panels, a solar charge controller, automatic transfer switch, and some big old lithium iron phosphate batteries. Let's see. BRS heater. Yeah, I wish I had them in stock. I would have bought one. Finex hasn't crapped out on me like ever, so I just stick with it. Does Inkbird without Apex turn off the heater if it gets too hot? Yes, it will. You don't need a controller. You need a heater with an analog or digital temperature controller plugged into an Inkbird, and you're theoretically fail safe. I go one more level just to make sure. Let's see. Do you keep your booze in your freezer? Why would you put bourbon in the freezer? It's supposed to be room temperature, bruh. If you're going to put your booze in the freezer, Jose, then I know you're drinking Fireball, and I'm not going to judge because it has its place. I already talked about specific heaters. I like Finex. That's just what I do. Bert, I'll post it and you'll see it. Cheaper junkyard battery Tesla. No. I mean, they have their place too. But I'm not trying to do a power wall. I'm just trying to power specific items. And those things are really, I'm whatever, just because they have the Tesla name attached to them. They're 18650s. I don't have any up here. But they're 18650 cells. I got a bunch in the garage. 3.7 volts. I don't know what to do with them. Oh. You know you're a Fireball guy. I've seen your car. I'm about out of time. Any questions? I appreciate everybody joining. That's cool. Makes me feel good about working on that video today. Jump in here. Say hey to everybody. PO4 from 1.2. 1.2. Yeah, find what's putting it there. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do, but you got to go slowly. GFO is an option, but I don't like it. And I have used an Inkbird for at least 4 years. It has not failed, and you can calibrate them. So if you have a decent thermometer, like you should with everything, like you should with anything temperature related, occasionally check it and recalibrate it. The old ones had stainless steel probes. They were short. You weren't supposed to submerge them all the way. I have 2 of those that are submerged all the way, and they work just fine. I just check the calibration occasionally. The new ones are plastic. Yeah, be careful with liquid phosphate remover. That's lanthanum chloride. Just go super slow. You got to be careful. I have, how many Inkbirds do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 6 or 7 installed. Probably 6. And then this one here makes 7. 3D printing. Good. Keep 3D printing. That's awesome. Controller-wise, Apex or GHL. Never had a system on tank. I have both. I have the GHL and I have an Apex, and I just bought that Apex EL from Bulk Reef Supply, so I can compare it to the GHL Mini. Carbon dosing is good. I support that too. We covered that. All right. Timer's up, y'all. If you missed anything or if you have questions related to what I presented, like crazy looking lithium iron phosphate batteries or the connectors you need from Amazon for your Ecotech stuff, and then anything related to heaters, please feel free to DM me. Thanks for hanging out. Let me check real quick. Yep, there we go. So, always, feel free to hit me up. I'll reply. I'm going to forget that I replied, but I'll reply. So, if I said I'd do something, I'm trying to keep notes because I get a lot of hits. Remind me. Don't think I'm blowing you off. Remind me that I said I would help you out. Cool. Later, y'all. Thanks. Oh, and be kind.